Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. So in this episode we are going to finish up in the Ashen Maw and then step into the next phase of the game. Alright, so I do believe we have to fight this large group in here, and that's alright. We do have the torque now, so we have the torque of Beraths, and so we have to deliver that to the leader of the Rathrun. Let's just get our tank in there and let's just start fighting, I guess. Alright, let's see who's gonna come. I think this room here and then also the room behind it also comes. Which I think it's probably like 15 people. And yeah, here comes the other people. So having my main guy positioned in the doorway, that should help me with getting a lot of aggro drawn to my other characters. So we should be able to get everybody down one at a time, and I think they have some healing abilities as well. But hopefully we can focus them down before they can get healed up. Okay, that fight is about done, so the overall fight wasn't too hard. We just had to manage a lot of aggro. My barbarian did go down, and it's because he just drew way too much aggro from everyone around him. But that's alright. Let's grab all this stuff and then we can move on. Okay, so both of these rooms should be cleared out. We should be able to move in to the next room, and I think we'll be able to get some more stuff here. Yeah, so we should be fine. I think this was the last big fight we have to have in this area. And that's good because our barbarian is injured and he has severe burns, so we'll have to patch him up before we do anything major. Alright, let's get this door open. We have a key for that door. A Rathrun warrior stands tall even among his giant brethren. With the stern sweep of his hand, he addresses the soldiers at his side.
The Beraths tarries for too long, yet only she is fit to fire the shrine. Go and ensure that she returns readily with the ancients.
It would be my honor, Bathor.
Return in victory, Rekir.
Yes, Bathor.
And remember,
The giant sweeps his gaze in your direction. When the warlord spots you, his shoulders stiffen and he reaches for his mace strapped to his back.
you are a bold one to attack us in our own seat of power. I hope you are prepared to die here, for I will soon prostrate you on the altar of Margaret and burn you for her glory.
Your warriors let me past in order to speak with Eothas, or rather the first two did. The warlord studies you for a few stretched seconds. The ensuing silence is heavy, oppressive, beneath the weight of his potential violence.
Given the circumstance, I will hear your reason for being here, but my patience burns quickly, Kith.
His eyes glow brightly from behind his heavy mask.
What is your relation to Eothas, if not to act with him against Margaret?
Eothas stole a part of my soul. I need it back.
Then you two have cause against Eothas, as we do. We are prepared to assault Eothas at the base of the Maw.
The warlord gestures to the shrine of Magrin behind him.
The shrine will lower us to the sacred Ardra pillar, where the embodied god now gluts himself.
Let me through. I'll speak with Eothas and convince him to leave this place.
Even if I believed you, I cannot do such a thing.
He shakes his head. His eyes burn fiercely intent.
We guard the sacred depths of the Maw. None may freely enter. Thus the shrine lies dormant, locked without the talk of Beraths.
He shoves his shoulders back with pride.
Our high priestess. The Beraths is the talk's rightful bearer, but she has yet to return to the keep.
I found your Beraths. She's dead.
Then it is as I feared. and as I felt. Her flames have been extinguished. I do not share the Beraths' ability to commune with Margaret, but I must believe the goddess would will us to fight. We must make a final stand.
I have the torque.
To returning victory from the lair of the Ancient. I misjudged you. You are one of a kind among kith. What became of the Ancient? Draw the Fearless. Triumph will be nigh impossible without her.
The dragon has forsaken you. He falls silent, the scrawlings on his skin flaring hotly.
Indeed. I feared the worst when the Beraths failed to return with the beast. We've no choice. Despite the odds, we'll attack without either's strength.
He shakes his head, the motion grave.
If this is to be our last stand, we must prepare ourselves, either for victory or for sacrifice. Lest Margaret forsake us for our failures. You've earned the right to Fire Shrine with the talk of the Other Flame, but we cannot join you as yet in facing the Defiler.
Farewell. Alright, it's time to talk to Eothas.
Leave this to Professor Grog.
You stand before the shrine of Magrin, goddess of flame and war. Lifting your eyes, fiery motes begin to streak across your vision as you stare into the imposing cast of her likeness. For the span of a single breath, everything falls eerily silent. The Rathun behind you fade away. Flames to either side of you flicker higher, dancing without sound. But the heat is real, licking at your skin. Then metal groans as Magrin's statue bends her head to you in greeting.
Watcher, the time does not allow for niceties.
Her words flow like lava from her lips, like the trails that burble hotly from her eyes.
Even now, Eothas gains strength from the spire. What progress have you to report?
The Rathun are preparing a final assault against Eothas.
Then they will burn to ash and return to the mud kiln from whence they came.
She leans forward, the copper of her corded arms gleaming from the bustling flames. She tugs her sword free from the plinth, and the entire shrine shudders with heat.
Presently, I shall erupt this volcano, and with it, consume Eothas. I suggest you retreat if you at all value your mortal form.
I need more time to reach Eothas.
I can give you only the moments more it takes me to fully fire the depths of this maw. After that, I will not stay the assault. Even for you. Fare thee on, Watcher. My condolences, should you die.
She inclines her head once more in a stalwart farewell. An avatar of the goddess flashes over the imposing statue before you. As the image fades, her absence leaves a shrine cold and deathly silent. Alright, let's interact with it. The statue of Magrin towers above you. Bloodied and battle-ready, the goddess clutches both her sword and shield. At the base of the statue, a rectangular, iron-slatted altar rests upon two unlit braziers. Now let's place the torque on the altar. The braziers on either side of the altar flare to life, red-hot flames shooting high before settling into a steadier, softer burn within the bowels. Lava eddies beneath the iron grating in the floor, heating the soles of your feet, while the statue herself seems to wake, metal groaning, rasping as the shrine moves. A statue of Magrin towers above you, eyes flaming, fists gripping her instruments of war. At the base of the statue, a rectangular, iron-slatted altar rests between two blazing braziers. At the center of the altar, the torque of Bethacton brightly burns an offering to Magrin. Alright, let's ascend into the depths of the Ashen Maw. With a squeal of metal against metal, the entire floor drops, a stomach lurching 5 feet. Chains clang like the toll of a bell as they catch, pounding against the time-worn gears. Then the shrine begins steadily lowering into the maw. As the shrine cranks lower into the maw, Eothas' colossal aura, Adra-carved dome, neck, and shoulders slowly emerge into view. This close, the god rises like a mountain, larger than ever remembering having seen him. Energy vibrates from his massive body, and a cacophony of mutterings and shoutings from the soul whirling within him slams into you, nearly knocking you from your feet. Alright, we've made it. Let's go speak to Eothas.
Watcher, I wasn't sure you'd make it. But there is enough of you in me to grasp that you had a better chance than most. Some would say it's because you have a strong soul. Great deeds come easily to one so spiritually blessed. Or have you become great because of what has been thrust upon you? Watcher of Cadnua, Herald of Berath, Hound of Eothas.
Good fortune and good people have carried me the whole way. I'd be nothing without them.
As would we all. But you have come a great distance for answers. What would you ask of me, Watcher?
I need to know why you've come back.
You need to know? Or Berath? Or the gods?
I need to know.
It seems someone else needs to know. One who has held me to the flames once before.
Magrin is prepared to take drastic steps to stop you.
Margaret fears what I will do. Just as she feared what I would do in the Deerwood. But this time, there is no power on Eora or in all of hell to stop me. Understand that what I'm saying is neither a boast nor a challenge. It is the clearest statement of truth I can give you. Give Berath, in the hopes of dissuading you from taking actions that may harm others.
Says the one who's killed thousands walking from Direwood to Deadfire.
Yes. I am sacrificing lives from this generation for the benefit of those who have not yet been born. The other gods may be willing to make similar sacrifices, but they will be in vain. I am going to force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another. And all the powers of hell cannot drive me from this course. It seems my sister does not like the sound of that.
Can you be more specific? What are you trying to do?
I want to return the gods to our original purpose, and to allow mortals to worship us, or ignore us, for what we are, not what we pretend to be. When I entered Widewin, I did so with the intention of illuminating the history of Anguith. I wanted to show all the nations of the Eastern Reach the machines we had used to create ourselves, how we had hidden our true nature from mortals for millennia. But even if I had succeeded, my words would have been easy to deny. Belief creates the foundation upon which a mind's reality is built. Some minds can never let go of that foundation. They would rather hold tight to the world in their mind than accept what they're being told.
Why is it so important that the mortals know that the gods came from the Anguithians?
We began with a dream that if we provided guidance to mortals, each generation of souls would grow stronger. And if the souls grew stronger, societies would become better, moving ever closer to achieving the potential we believed all mortals have within them. Over 2,000 years have passed. Hundreds of generations have been born, lived, and died. If the world has improved under our guidance, mortals should be prepared to understand the truth. If they have not improved after all of this time, then we have utterly failed in our aims, and there should be a reckoning of our faults. The time has come for a new covenant between gods and mortals. One forged in the light of truth and understanding between our kind. I will leave this place and go to the lost city the Huana call Ukaizo. It is there that all souls pass through the machines of the gods, where all souls pass into the beyond before beginning their next life. When I reach that place, I will find our great machines and tear them to pieces. I will smash the great wheel until the lights of hell all gutter and die. And when my work is done, I will leave this world forever.
I guess that's one way to get a response.
I'm surprised Margaret is reacting this way. I would have thought she would appreciate a trial of this magnitude, one that tests us all. Both gods and mortals alike rely on the wheel. We depend on it for the souls that give us power. Mortals depend on it for the lives of future generations. Breaking it will force all of us to face the truth. We will fail together or move forward together. Either ending is preferable to the cycle we still find ourselves in. Once again, the gods have put you in a precarious position, Watcher. Considering all the troubles I have put you through, the least I can do is protect you from the wrath Margaret has intended for me.
It's much appreciated.
Don't thank me yet. This will be particularly difficult for you, Watcher.
Eothas' great hand floats away from the luminous Audra pillar. As it pulls back, for a brief moment you see a golden tether flash into existence between the pillar and the great titan's back. When the Audra fingers gently cradle you, there is first a sensation of warmth, but it is followed by a harsh splitting of consciousness. Your awareness vacillates erratically between the physical world and the spiritual dimension of Eothas' body. Your soul glides amid the many trapped with Eothas. As your brilliant form passes by them, they call and reach out for help. Below Eothas' body, the volcano erupts. Molten rock rushes over the great Audra body, but does not slow its movement. Rathun rush to higher ground, but cannot outpace the lava, which overwhelms and consumes them as it rises. Your attention returns to the heart of Eothas' body. Deep within the whirling masses of souls, you again sense your own presence, the fragment that was taken from you. This time, you reach out to it as it reaches out to you. You meet somewhere in the great mass of Audra, the rest of the souls fading at the edge of your awareness. We are together again. Are you ready to be together again?
Yes, it's about time.
Are you certain? Since we've parted, you've become someone else, and I have become myself. When we join, we won't be ourselves anymore. Your senses yank back to your body, still in Eothas' hand. There is light, sunlight. He has emerged from Ashen Maw, the rim of the volcano and the great keep of the Rathun collapsing behind him. The Audra is barely visible through the thick lava covering his body, and still, he moves. The ocean is gone, water sucked away, leaving only the bare seabed glistening in an ominous silence. You summon the strength to turn your head. Through the cracks in the great god's fingers, you see a wall of water, taller than Nekataka, taller than Eothas, as tall as the moon. It comes with the rumbling of a terrible stampede. The wave slams into Eothas. His hand closes, protecting you from the devastation. Somewhere in your mind, you hear Andra screaming. You are back inside him, back with yourself. Are you still the same Watcher who returned the lost souls of the Deerwood to the wheel? The soul observes you, waiting. I am.
I am, and I hope to return these souls to the wheel before I'm done.
Good. Then this should be easy. You feel cool air, seawater. The back of your mind pulls your attention back to your body. Eothas stands amid the now calm waves. Kraken futilely clinging to his limbs as he gingerly sets down your ship with one hand. He carefully opens his other, setting your body on the deck. As your head comes to rest, your vision rocks forward. pulled back into the Audra, back to your soul. Some of us is lost to him. Fragments and the empty spaces between them. They will always be a part of him. But we are still us. And it's time for us to go. Together.
Okay.
The soul rushes toward you, flying into you with ferocious speed. You are thrust back through the Audra, out of the palm of Eothas' hand, back into your body. You can feel the sensation of your skin, the warmth of the Audra, but you are not fully in control. The other soul struggles to reach the surface of the body's consciousness, but you pull it down. Entangled, you float in a dark, boundless expanse. The more you fight each other, the closer you become, until somehow, impossibly, every piece of you is touching every piece of them. Through the distant window of your eyes, you see Eothas push slowly against your ship. Though his touch is light, it is still the touch of a god. The ship lurches, rapidly tearing across the water southward. His hand pulls away from your ship's wake, his body straightening, towering overhead. The volcanic rock, now cooled and gently steaming, sloughs from his body as he moves. The Audra beneath is still immaculate, unmarred. He watches you depart, and you hear a voice in your mind as you sink deeper into the blackness of sleep.
Tell them what you have witnessed, Watcher. Tell them what is coming.
The windows of your eyes retreat into the distance. The fragment of your soul is so close to you in the darkness that you can't tell if its thoughts are separate from your own. Eothas is going to Ukaizo? He's going to stop the wheel? Eothas is going to Ukaizo. Eothas is going to Ukaizo. He's going to stop the wheel. The words repeat in your mind until they become an incessant, meaningless mantra. Involuntary meditation in the emptiness of your unconscious. When the words finally dissolve and become part of the darkness, you see a pinpoint of light. You no longer sense the other soul. No longer sense the person you were before Eothas touched you. You swim toward the light. As you come closer, the light becomes two blurry spots of radiance. You settle in behind your eyes and feel your lips already moving, mumbling. Around your body you sense familiar scents and sounds, voices raised in shock and alarm. You take control of your mouth, opening it wide and drawing a great breath.
A pounding headache drags you most of the way back to your senses. Your vision blurs and an acrid taste fills your parched mouth. The details of the room slowly come into focus, the sounds of an ongoing debate, a distant echo.
Are we simply going to wait? What if she never wakes up?
Are those frilled collars stuffed in your ears? If the Watcher's mumblings are right, then Eothas is marching on Ukaizo. We have to move.
In the brief silence, you hear the Hazanui Karu's boots scrape against the tile as she paces.
He's seizing power from the very gods who betrayed him, destroying the wheel to make sure they never come back.
She shakes her head and chuckles with grim appreciation.
It's a coup, and we have to muster the strength to stop it.
The unraveling of Kohopa from Tangaloa is our greatest test from the gods, I say. We must live to deserve the world they make for us.
Onikaza rests her chin on her fist and considers. The assembled leaders turn their attention away from each other in a prolonged, thoughtful silence. At last you feel fully present and steady on your feet. The attention of the room abruptly shifts to you, filling the void with expectant whispers. I'm fine, not that anyone asked.
You bear witness to the work of the gods. It seems they are not finished with you yet. Join our talks, I say. Rational discussion will gust away the ominous smoke rising from Ashen Maw.
Onikaza gestures to you with an open palm.
The Deadfire is no stranger to cataclysm. We can survive by cleaving to a shared purpose, a greater good, Akira.
She looks to each of the envoys in turn.
For what else did the gods place us here? We who have ships and resources enough to make a difference.
Castol glances around the room at the gathered parties, his brows climbing.
What we need is brass. Rawatai has ships and cannons aplenty, but the only way I'm sending them is if...
She breaks off at the boom of a door slamming open. Commotion echoes from the entrance hall. As everyone turns toward the noise, her hand strays to her gun. The sound of approaching footsteps grow in volume as a courier scrambles into the throne room, panting and glistening with sweat. His mouth opens and closes like a fish gasping desperately for breath.
Ships have formed the blockade around Queen's Birth. Their commander demands parley with Serpent's Crown.
What? But what about our ships? I must get a message through to the captains.
For what do our enemies paint a target on their hull? This is a stirring bid for my attention.
Onikaza narrows her gaze past the open door.
Send word to my water shapers to drain the sea around the flagship. I would parley on better terms than this.
Onikaza begins to rise, but the courier speaks up ahead of her.
My queen! They fly the colors of pirates! The Principi are...
Well, what have we here?
A confident voice booms from the open door. The motley sailors who don't hold the Hoana guards at bay with drawn weapons take in some of the more opulent decorations with avid interest. One pirate separates out from the fold, sauntering boldly forward.
Forgive me, lovesome, but it looks like you're having a party. A rather fine one to which you didn't invite me.
She winks, swollen at glinting in the light as she cocks her pistol high above her head.
You painted vagrants are a plague on my tribes. Why should I not hang you from the walls of my garden?
Onikaza grips the handrest of her throne as if ready to vault up and attack.
You should be asking yourself how they got in here in the first place.
She glowers in the direction of the throne.
Oh, I do love when they squabble. But I'm here for neither pleasantries nor entertainment. We've bigger fish to fry. Or should I say gods?
A determined-looking guard inches closer to Aldiz from the edge of the court. Without looking, the Principi captain swivels her pistol to aim straight at his chest.
Now everyone just calm down. I promise we won't fire on you at this time. Unless firstly provoked. That is, until once we've safely absconded from the city back to the high seas.
She grins magnanimously.
Then all bets are off again, aye?
Yes, well, if you have a point, pirate, I suggest you reach it quickly.
We're supposed to take a bunch of pirates at their word?
She crosses her arms, the wooden hand groaning.
Right you are. However...
The narrow-eyed look she settles on the room is more than a little bloodthirsty.
I'm here because I've got questions, ones that can't wait. And the Lovesome Watcher's the only one likely to answer them nicely.
All of us must plan for the inevitable. Even if we cooperate, Eothas wins.
Do you think so little of our chances? The Huana are built to outlast, I say. Deadfire's last cataclysm stripped the tribes of Ukaizo. This one will bring it back to us. All of this is meant to be.
Onikaza balls her hand into a fist and nods, flaring her nostrils.
Ukaizo? What's the lost city of gold got to do with a god on a rampage?
Using the barrel of her gun, she tips her hat back curiously. Eothas is going there to break the reincarnation cycle.
Well, fuck if that doesn't put things into perspective. But what's that even mean in the long run? Folks who die won't be coming back again.
Their souls will be trapped in the in-between.
This is all all dark and foreboding sounding. But what's it mean for my soul? I mean, I like the idea of pirating throughout the Great Beyond as much as the next gal. But if, say, I got no awareness after I die, does it even matter what happens?
Ak, of course you have no interest past that of your eyes and your stomach. Let us speak now of what can be done. Must be done. Watcher, you know best of all of us what our options are.
Our only hope is to reason with him.
If he's heading to Okaizo, then the time for speeches is over. We have to act quickly. Defending Okaizo is the highest priority.
A pensive, focused look sharpens the lines in her face. She scratches her cheek with the fingers of her wooden hand.
Our ships are fast and well-equipped. We could sail to the edge of Andra's mortar. See if Eothas' passage opens a way through the storms.
She narrows her eyes, watching the others.
Of course, finding Okaizo once we're through is another matter.
If you can get me through Andra's mortar, I can take you to Okaizo.
That's so. You just might be able to save us.
She scratches her chin, an eager glimmer in her eyes.
We speak of collectively sailing for Andra's mortar, but this crown will not support any plan that involves a single outsider ship landing on the shores of Okaizo.
A hush falls across the room as Onikaza makes her proclamation.
It is for this moment that the gods test me. Anyone who seeks to cross Andra's mortar will learn that the gates of Okaizo are the end of compromise with the Huana.
Can everyone agree to an armistice while we work through this crisis?
I don't mean to let Eothas end us while we bicker. But the fate of Okaizo is not exclusively a Huana concern.
I think I'm getting the gist of it now.
She rubs the barrel of her gun under her jaw, thoughtfully. Then she crooks you a cunning grin.
While these witless princocks go at each other's throats, we Principi will cut through the storms and plunder the City of Gold. Whatever Eothas is seeking in those ruins, we'll find it, and then we'll sell it to the highest bidder. That, or me and mine will have front row seats to the end of the world.
If the Huana cannot take back our beginning, then our end fast approaches. The gods will judge us by our devotion to Okaizo.
Are you going to guard it as closely as you've guarded your palace today?
She shoots a meaningful stare at the pirates.
Okaizo was yours once, and you lost it. Meanwhile, the storms that cover Andra's mortar plague Rauatai too. We will help the Watchers stop Eothas, but we will not leave our country's future in soft hands. We hope the Watcher agrees.
She nods to you.
Watcher, there are two kinds of people in the Deadfire. Those who have called it home since time immemorial, and opportunists.
Onikaza glares at the assembled dignitaries.
With Okaizo under our control, the Huana would restore order as it has not been seen since the days of our ancestors.
She nods, slowly holding your gaze all the while.
Order. And the only question is whether it will be the order of ignorance and tradition, or else of conquest. The secrets to be found in Okaizo could elevate us all beyond the telling. I will not relinquish that dream so easily.
With that, Castol turns to stride away, his shoulders set in a rigid line. Without so much as a final farewell, Aldis tips her head and her armed crew and the pirates withdraw as swiftly as they arrived.
Watcher, I say the time to play at freelancing is at an end. Any of us could get you to Okaizo, but only one of us will stand by your side.
Studying you carefully, Onikaza nods and gestures to her attendants to clear the room.
Let's speak, Watcher, while we have the chance.
Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. We did finish up with the Ashen Maw, and we did kick off the next phase of the game, the final act. So this is the point where you have to actually choose who do you want to side with. And we'll do that in the next episode. If you like this series, please give me a thumbs up, and let me know what you thought in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.